Any livestock owner, rancher, or his agent who possesses or owns firearms or arms shall be prosecuted under the Robbery and Firearms Special Provision Act. That's, of course, the law for such is already there. So the aspect of how you secure your livestock is clearly stated here. You secure your livestock by using permitted, known agencies of coercive force. Not that you use self-help, because it's the aspect of self-help that brings a lot of the fighting in the state. You have your weapons, and because somebody says you are trespassing through my house or through my school, because cattle occupy churches, they occupy personal houses, like this compound where we are in now, they're just moving. And you can't drive them out. If you start driving them now, they can shoot you. And particularly when it's in the rural area. Because, like I said, in the rural Benue, a farm and a home are almost in the same location. You are moving through somebody's farm, and within some minutes, you are already also moving through his house. And these people come in with their livestock, and they take over the whole place. Imagine 500 cows moving to your farm at the same time. They are covering your farm, and they are eating up everything, and they are also covering your house. And they are holding guns. So the law says very clearly, if you want to keep your livestock, drop your guns, get security agencies to go along with you. It is not to say that you cannot secure yourself, because Benue is not saying you can't secure yourself, because you can never make such a law. You secure yourself using authorized sources. Then, of course, other part says all ranch operators may engage the services of registered security agencies for the protection of their ranches. You are permitted very clearly. The law tells you you can go ahead and get registered security agencies. Then prohibition of animal rustling. This is one aspect of the law that most people don't talk about. They think the law is simply just to protect the crop farmer. But this law, this aspect, section 20, deals specifically with cattle rustling. And like I told you, the people who rustle cattle are mostly people who know about cattle. Those who rustle pigs, if you steal pigs, you know about pigs. You have customers for pigs. If you rustle dogs, you know people steal dogs. You have customers for dogs. I used to grow turkey. I was a turkey farmer. And my turkeys were rustled. Those people have customers for turkeys. So rustlers are everywhere. Any kind of livestock can be rustled. So there's a prohibition. And if you're an offender, the law states how much fine you pay or how many years imprisonment. And
money, you can say it.
yes. So injuries, or if under the law, where a rustler injures or maims any person while carrying out his activities, he shall, on conviction, be liable to 5 years imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 naira only, or both. Then if the rustler causes death, he shall be guilty of an offense of culpable homicide, punishable under the provision of the Nigerian Penal Code. Very straightforward. So the rustler is not excluded. And the rustler, the livestock guard that we have in Benue, they are also facing the cattle rustlers. In fact, they have gun exchanges with cattle rustlers and livestock rustlers. Because the rustlers want to steal these cows or steal the sheep and goat and donkey and horses, whatever it is, to sell. They are not cattle rearers, or they might be cattle rearers or livestock rearers that maybe they are broke, or whatever it is, they don't have enough. Just like you know with any criminal. A criminal has so many reasons why they do what they do. A person convicted of cattle rustling that is in addition, may in addition pay compensation to the victim or owner as the court may stipulate. So after you are going into jail, you are also going to pay compensation. It's not just a matter of going to jail. You pay compensation also. Then impoundment of livestock. That's the one you're talking about, that they just go around and start arresting people's cows. No, we don't just arrest people's cows in Benue State. Number one, your cow is in the wrong place. It's like in Lagos, you park your car wrongly, it will be taken. You just discover it has been towed away. That is the same way your cow is towed away, your horses are towed away, your donkeys are towed away. If you break the law, nobody waits for, last mile is not going to wait for any excuses. They tow your cow away. It's the same thing. And people think it's very draconian. It's not. Because you're leaving your animals to wander anyhow, and it is harmful to other people. People have farmed their cassava, and they spend their whole life farming 3, 4, 5 acres of cassava, And in a single day, you bring 1,000 cows, and everything is eaten up. I mean, the person could commit suicide. So if your cows are arrested, you don't say it's a draconian law. What you are doing is terribly criminal. You are causing people, some people could hang themselves. In Benue State, there are families that have been totally destroyed because livestock moved into their farms and removed everything. Even yams, you find some herders, they'll get the yams out of the barns and use a machete and slice the yams and feed it to the animals as food from your own farm. And because they are holding very dangerous guns, you can't say anything. So the law is to make sure that whoever has his livestock here is not at the same time a terrorist. You don't run your livestock business by the barrel of the gun. You run it by the barrel of the law. So 22 says release of impounded livestock. As I've said, if you pay your money, the fine, your animals are given back to you. It's when you don't pay. Because some people, some of the people that rear the cattle work for their masters. And when these animals are arrested, it might take more than 20 days before the master, because some of the people who have these cows don't want their identities known. They have cows in Benue State, but you don't know who is the owner. Somebody might have 2,000 cows in Benue, and he has some small boys that are taking the cows around. He doesn't want to be known that he's the owner of the cows. So when about 50 or 100 of those cows are arrested and kept, the little ones that are the shepherd boys go and tell their big oga that our cows have been arrested. And the oga does not show up. And he doesn't want to pay the fine. And the state government cannot hold these cows forever. So after about 30 days, sometimes even 2 months, even though the law says 7 days, sometimes it's kept for 2-3 months before they are disposed. If nobody comes and the boys run away, then of course those cattle, they are sold. If you come later on and you lay a claim, then of course nobody knows it's your own. I know one of the things is that the cattle and a lot of the livestock that move around Nigeria don't have any identification marks on them. So that's why the rustlers work very, very fast.